So today, really simple lesson, we're gonna just work on cleaning parsley. I can't stress this enough. Parsley is amazing. Super versatile, it is super nutritious, it's incredibly delicious, okay? I think a lot of us are hung up, and this is something I've learned from my students over the years, with just the whole process of it all. You know, they have the best intentions and they want to take home different herbs and different greens, but you don't want to go through the process of having to wash everything, and very often you kind of buy things and they just get stuck in the fridge, right? So I want to kind of dispel some of the anxiety around washing herbs in this lesson, okay? So when you come home, and this is something that I really want to harp on. One of the first things I want you to do is, before you just throw everything in the fridge, if you can quickly take the time, and you can do this whole process quickly before you put away your veggies and everything, quickly take this band off. This band is just literally strangling the parsley. And if you notice, very often, whatever this is on, you'll start to kind of get some nastiness around the band, right? So free it from that, okay? So you've got options. You can do a couple things. You can, and this is what, very often we would do in the restaurant, most often, you can just pick the leaves and go right into water and save the stem. Please do not throw away the stems. And we can talk about why not in a bit. So you can just quickly, with your bunch, go through like this, right? And then you've got your leaves cleaned in the water, and then your stems separate, which you can kind of just dunk in the water and keep separate. And the stems are great for smoothies, throwing into soups and stocks, anything that's pureed or just chopped up alongside the leaves in salads and in dishes, okay? The stems are great too. It is definitely not garbage, okay? So the other option is just to take the whole bunch and get it right into a really big thing of cold water. And whatever you do, you want to just agitate, right? And by moving around the parsley, any dirt or sand or grit will just kind of find its way to the bottom. So just let it sit for a few seconds, a minute. If you have super dirty parsley, every once in a while you get a bunch and there's just a lot of grit, you might have to do this twice. In which case you would change out the water and then just do it again. But again, that's all you do. So when you're doing the whole bunch, most often, honestly, I'll just take this and I'll shake off excess water and I'll put it right into a towel and I'll wrap it up like this, and this will go right back into the bag that it came in. Side note, I can't stress this enough, please recycle these bags. There's so much plastic in this world, we can't afford to be throwing these away. So I just like to accumulate a big bag of these, and every grocery store that I know has a recycling bin for them, okay? So the other option, if you want to be a little more finessed and clean the leaves, and then dry them, especially if you're going to use them right away and you want to dry your leaf, which very often you do, is to spin dry. So imagine this is a lot more parsley than it would be, and this goes for any, leafy green for that matter. I'm just going to use a little bit just for the example. This goes for your lettuces, your greens, and then you're just going to use one of these guys. This is a Xylus, I love this. You're just going to pull. This is huge to get the excess water off. And then this, again, imagine there's more, is going to go into whatever container. I'm sure we all have something like this at home. Now I really like to put a paper towel at the bottom to kind of absorb excess moisture. And that kind of moist bed at the bottom really helps to create a nice environment for this parsley or whatever it is that you're storing really well. Okay, so this will stay very often. Sometimes I'll forget about it in a part of the fridge, honestly, and 10 days later even, it'll look pristine. And that's because you took just that little bit of extra time at the very beginning to treat it right, okay? So now, the key here is that now you've got this ready vegetable or herb or whatever it is that you're cleaning ready to go in the fridge. And this is huge when you're trying to save time during the week in cooking. Also saves you money because, let's face it, very often we forget about these things or they rot and we end up throwing them away, okay? So that's it for today. I'm really excited that you're here and I'm so excited for the next video. See you soon.